Hello, everyone, and welcome to the ESL for You podcast, where we help you learn English and talk about interesting topics. I'm your host, Faby, and today I want to talk to you about mental health after the pandemic. So, as you already know, mental health is related to how we think, feel, and act. It affects our well-being, our relationships, and our ability to cope with stress and challenges. Unfortunately, the COVID-19 pandemic has been a very difficult and stressful time for many people around the world. And even though it's not as dangerous or deadly as it used to be, it has caused a lot of fear, anxiety, sadness, loneliness, and grief. And it has changed our lives forever. So some people have lost their loved ones, like a friend of mine who recently lost her grandmother to COVID-19. And many other people have lost their jobs, such as myself. I lost my job. Well, I didn't lose it. I kind of quit, but thanks to the pandemic, because I was teaching at a university. And some other people have lost their social connections and or their sense of normalcy. We don't feel normal anymore because we lost so much. And we don't even realize how much we have lost. And some people have experienced trauma, violence, or discrimination during this pandemic period. And some other people have developed new mental health problems or worsened existing ones. So how can we take care of our mental health and the mental health of others during and after this pandemic? In this episode, I will share with you some tips and resources that can help you support your mental health and well-being. So, the first tip I have for you is to practice self-care. Always practice self-care. So what is self-care? Self-care means taking care of your physical, emotional, and spiritual needs. For example, we can try to get enough sleep, eat healthy food, exercise regularly, meditate, relax, and have fun. It's not easy, I know, because, most of us or some of us now work from home, and some of us have like a hybrid kind of work model, which is maybe 2 or 3 days you work from home and then the rest you work at the office. So it's not easy to get enough sleep or eat healthy food sometimes, because sometimes you don't have any time to cook for yourself. So we need to try to eat healthy food, exercise regularly or at least 3 times a week, meditate. Meditation is really helpful and important. And remember to relax and have fun. So it's not easy to do all these things, but at least try 1 or 2 each week. So these activities can help us reduce stress, boost our mood, and improve our immune system. So do you have a favorite self-care activity? I like to read books, in my case, and listen to music and play with my dog. But, some other people don't like to do those kinds of things. So just find something that you're passionate about, something that helps you relax. Yeah, so anyway, like telling jokes. I like telling jokes. For example, what do you call a dog that can tell time? A watchdog. Yeah, I usually tell really bad jokes, but well, anyway. Let's go with the next tip. Another tip is to stay connected with your family and friends. Yeah, because during the pandemic period, maybe we just had video calls, FaceTime or Zoom meetings. And that's not good for our mental health. So as you know, social support is very important for mental health. We can use phone calls, video chats, text messages, or social media to keep in touch, but don't forget being physically there, face-to-face meetings, not just meeting online, because we are losing our sense of humanity thanks to the pandemic. So we need to get back to how we were before. Or maybe nothing can be as it was before, but we could try our best to go and knock on our friend's house, at our friend's door, and ask them how they are, how they feel. That is really important. So we can also offer help and encouragement to others who may be struggling or lonely. So just remember that sometimes just listening and being there for someone can make a big difference. So do you have anyone you can talk to when you feel stressed or sad? It's really important to have someone. I really have a good friend who always listens to me and gives me good advice. She is very kind and smart. So, well, actually, she's always telling me jokes too, really bad ones, but she's like my best friend. So anyway, another tip is to learn something new or develop a new skill. Learning can stimulate our brain and boost our self-esteem. We can take an online course, read a book, watch a documentary, listen to a podcast like this one, or try a new hobby. Learning can also help us discover new interests or passions that can enrich our lives. So, do you have any hobbies that you like to do? In my case, I like to play the guitar, and I love to play chess. I like drinking too. I think that's a hobby. Whiskey is the best. Red wine too. But, well, we got to be careful too, because we have to be careful and mindful when we drink, because we don't want to become emotional drinkers, nor do we want to become emotional eaters. We have to be careful with that too. So, well, these are some tips that can help you support your mental health and well-being after the pandemic. Of course, there are many other things you can do to cope with stress and challenges in healthy ways. So if you feel overwhelmed or need more help, don't hesitate to seek professional help from a doctor, a therapist, or a counselor. They can provide a diagnosis, treatment, and support for mental health issues. There are also many online resources and hotlines that can offer information and assistance. So, yeah, seek for professional help if you are not feeling, well. Or you could also journal, like if you're too shy to talk to someone, because I know that in many cultures, going to a therapist or a psychologist is not like very normal, because maybe people will criticize you and think you're crazy and stuff like that. So if you don't like to do that, just talk to your best friend. Now, if you don't have a best friend or whatever, you can always journal. Yes, buy a notebook, a new notebook, and start writing all your feelings in that notebook. If there are negative feelings or emotions, once you fill it up with all your emotions, burn the notebook and let your emotions go. Yeah, and try to meditate. But the best thing to do when you're depressed, nope, it's not eating. Nope, it's not drinking. The best thing to do when you're depressed is to seek professional help, or call your best friend, or I don't know, look for jokes online and then have a good laugh. Unless it is like a medical depression, then in that case you must seek professional care. So I hope you enjoyed this episode of the ESL for You podcast and learned something useful today. Thank you for listening, and stay tuned for more episodes on different topics. Until next time, stay safe and healthy. Goodbye, and remember to practice your English. Don't forget.